back with another one of these question rant videos, because the more I think about the deal slash contract between Rosie and Alastor breaking that contract in episode 8, the more confused I become by the inner workings and overall setup of Alastor's plan to break the contract is kind of dumb, because we know from the flashback Alastor asked to be the strongest sinner in hell the moment he arrived and Rosie made it so, but added in that Alastor has to do something for her, and until she deems that has been paid off, he has to do what she tells him. Easy peasy. Honestly seems how a lot of the deals in hell are that way, thanks to us seeing Husk also has to do what Alastor tells him, and Val and Angel's contract as well, though theirs seems to be more location based, which makes not much sense legally, but whatever. Anyway, so Alastor, after trying to get Rosie to fix his staff, and she doesn't for some reason, gets the plan to join Vox and at some point make him the most powerful sinner in hell in order to break out of his contract with Rosie, which is kind of stupid when you really think about it. But I will say he was real fucking lucky it all worked out for him the way that it did, because there is no way. Because one, if he really needed Vox to be the most powerful sinner, then why try to break up the V's? Like, don't get me wrong, I get messing with Vox, but like, Valentino and Velvet are putting in the work to make Vox popular enough to follow and increase his power, so why try, and try very badly, to break them up? And you know, maybe he did it so they wouldn't intervene when Vox did break the contract and they somehow ended up fighting again. But like, that goes out the window because Alastor had no idea about Charlie's plan, so Val and Velvet being out of the picture seems way too easy. Like, they technically didn't even break up either during the gala. So like, had Charlie not had a plan or not shown up, Alastor would have been shit in the water. Like, ugh. And two, how did he know specifically having Charlie say Vox is the most powerful sinner would even break his contract with Rosie in the first place? Or if her saying it would do anything. Like, yes, Charlie is the princess of hell, however, only in name, and Vox has spent so much time bashing her and the hotel, and even went up against Lucifer in front of everyone to show that, like, see, the royals can't do shit. And not to mention, hell already didn't like her till after the fight with Adam, and then losing everyone's support after she tells them that the hotel isn't for killing angels, leaving her with like maybe 10 plus people staying at the hotel, who then kept leaving after each thing Vox and Charlie did. So by the time Vox blows the doors off heaven, Vox should have already had total control slash power, since his powers come from approval ratings, and at this point, Charlie should have no one outside of the main cast still on her side to hold out on for Vox. Honestly, it feels like they only had her say it as an easy way to avoid doing something different, or because they also needed a reason for Vox to touch Charlie, which, like, kind of easy fix here, where they probably could have had just shown Vox tearing Charlie down and watch as all of hell approves of him. Like, we can see that the numbers are going up as he's like belittling her, and then he just outright says that he's now the strongest sinner in hell, and then, like, you know, does his little, oh, I'm so sorry, pretends to comfort her routine by touching her, and in doing so breaking Alastor's contract with him and with Rosie all at the same time, and also keeping the deal with Charlie for later instead of using it for this really messy plan. Plus 3, technically, Alastor's contract with Rosie should have been broken as soon as he started fighting the V's, as during the fight, it's pretty clear he's weaker than them. And I mean, yeah, he's wounded, but that shouldn't stop the strength in his abilities. It's clearly his staff being broken that's the main issue, as his shadow still seems to work just fine. But 4, and also back to Rosie, Alastor breaking his contract with Rosie at the time and place that he did was the dumbest thing he's done so far. We know after the battle with Adam, Alastor is still busted up and struggling. So is his powers now that his staff is busted. Which, like, I think, based on context clues, I think his staff is something that came from Rosie specifically, and that is probably why it can't be fixed by him, and is probably how she was able to make him the strongest sinner, which is another thing, because if that's true, and it being broken makes him less powerful now, then wouldn't the contract be broken on Rosie's end? Like, the thing that makes him powerful is busted. So, like, the minute that Adam broke it, that should have broken their contract, but I guess because Adam's an angel, that, like, nullifies the contract in a way, because she did say he would be the strongest sinner, and she said you can't go up against an angel, so, like, you know, that could have nulled the contract right there. However, I guess he is still somewhat powerful since he was able to fight Vox one-on-one, so he's not completely powerless, even though the V's were all pretty much kicking his ass, and not even all at once. Like, they didn't all blitz attack him. They all pretty much had, like, one-on-one fights. And yet, again, he's still considered somewhat the strongest during all of that. Like, it doesn't, like, the power level for Alastor doesn't make sense in this exact moment. Yes, he's busted up, his staff is busted up, so his powers and, like, overall body are weakened, and he's getting bodied by, like, 3 other overlords that technically shouldn't be able to body him right now. Like, Velvet alone shouldn't be able to body Alastor, but she is. So that should have broken the contract, but it doesn't for some reason. He's still able to, like, hold his own to some degree, or at least get away, and it isn't until he calls Husk and Nifty to help out, and then Nifty, you know, his favorite, and get, like, executed, does he then, like, oh, this is my plan. Like, what? Though, however, even if the staff isn't what makes him powerful, he's still been stunted either way. I mean, maybe it's because of the wound and not exactly the staff, and, like, since it's an angel that did it, it's out of line with the contract again. But, like, we don't know the inner workings of these contracts and how an angel being involved interferes with them. But either way, it's still stupid to break the contract himself, as he's basically pumped Vox up to be stronger than him, and has now broken a contract that made him strong to begin with. And, like, this is where another thing irritates me, because once Alastor broke the contract with Rosie, his abilities should have weakened immensely, or be what they should have been had he not made a deal with Rosie. And don't say he's killed overlords left and right since he got to hell, so he's a good fighter, because yeah, of course that's what he did. The guy unlocked easy mode while everyone else was stuck on hard mode and had to level up themselves. He was already fully leveled up by the time he dropped in. It's not fair. And he shouldn't still be at Vox's level after breaking his contract, because again, Alastor broke the contract. He did not complete his part of the contract with Rosie, so he shouldn't still have his strength. Plus, how much more fun would it have been to see Alastor trying to use his abilities he's used for, like, years now, only for it to not work or be less than what he's used to, but still finding a way to beat Vox in a sense. And it would make more sense on why Alastor still wants Rosie to fix his staff later, because if we were to see that the staff is no longer working, we can put 2 and 2 together that his more stronger abilities came from Rosie and are in his staff, and that him asking her to fix it is his way of asking to be put back in the contract since he wants his power back. But no, we get everything is easy and works out in a stroke of pure insane luck for Alastor, who is able to hold his own with Vox even after he's been powered up like crazy and still has a broken staff and gaping wound on his chest, and yet somehow gets slammed by a bionic shark. The power scale in this world makes 0 sense, and the contracts are just thin-ass toilet paper that just lets you do whatever you want, I guess. Plus, it makes the ending slightly confusing on why Alastor would go back to Rosie in the first place. Because, yeah, he wanted his staff fixed, but, like, the show implies he's still somewhat stronger than the average sinner, and that could be due to the deals he has with Husk and Nifty being overlords themselves, and if he was able to take on Vox at his max, then why go back to Rosie? Like, if you are still able to kick all the way to the top overlord ass while your chest is bleeding and your staff is busted and your powers are kind of wonky, like, if you're still able to do that, why go back? And also, why do all of this to get out of a contract and then go right back into one? Because thanks to the last part, we see Alastor is back at the hotel, and I know it's not because he cares. Like, what was the purpose? He wanted out, and he got out. He got what he wanted in the end. And, like, And yeah, the process to do that was being humiliated more than ever, harassed like crazy, and then beaten down by a shark and saved by an angel in front of everyone. Oh, and losing his favor with Charlie. Like, all of this happened because you were mad Rosie made you dip for 7 years and work at a hotel. And then after all of that, you run back to her and be like, no, I want to get back in that contract. You know, this whole mess that I made for myself, I don't want that anymore. I want to go back. Man, remember when Alastor was more interesting in the pilot? I sure miss that, because... And, okay, maybe I can see why he would go back to Rosie if they had shown his powers were gone during the fight, but they didn't, so him going back seems weird, especially if all he wanted was for her to fix his staff. Hopefully their deal is different somehow now, because, damn, dude, you did all of this for nothing. It really feels like, yeah, it all worked out, but it also, like, it all worked out for Charlie. It did not work out for Alastor, because he's just right back where he started, and he lost so much more street cred this time. Like, you done backfired on yourself. You played yourself so hard with this plan. It's such a stupid plan. I really hope his contract is different. No, I really do. Anyway, though, I had to get all that out. Also no video this Saturday or a video next Wednesday, because I'm gonna be at Animeverse, so I will be running around all weekend going crazy, and I tend to get tired after them, so yeah. Anyway, though, love y'all. Happy almost Valentine's Day. Also, thank you to the other members. You have my whole heart. Everyone else, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Follow me on my socials right here. And if possible, hit that join button or super to join the Board of Teeth. It really helps out the channel and me. I hope you all have a super fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!